particularly those of us who have always been different and were too much. We're told we were too much. We were, all the things. So, anyway, I'm the founder of the Academy for Womanhood, and I have a community called Women. And we just got I held an impromptu gathering today, which I do from time to time. It's entirely impromptu. And I particularly wanted us to talk about, and we did talk about our ridiculous goals, our goals that we oftentimes put in the future because our own mind has us, our identity, our minds, our current condition life has us thinking that it needs we that's happening later. I need to get all of this together first, and et cetera, et cetera. And I wanted us to collapse time. I said, I want us to talk about this so we can collapse time and bring whatever this future vision history that we think we have into now, activate speed around it. And a topic that came up that I want to talk about here today is one, overcoming the fear of being seen, okay, in order to be what she called a baddie, spiritual baddie, and basically being a public facing woman who can serve millions of people, who can be on stages in front of millions of people and do that. Okay. And so the topic of being seen, I like to discuss overcoming the fear of being seen. So some of that, I have energy today. So I was here earlier today. Now I'm back. So we'll see how long I'm here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to get into today is for those of you who have a fear of being seen, answering questions around overcoming your particular fear of being seen and what's possible for you on the other side of this fear of being seen and overcoming that fear of being seen. Also, talking about the lightness of heart and the joy that comes with playing a bigger game. Oftentimes, people talk about the fear and the resistance and all that, but another part of that is the lightness of heart and the joy that comes with, oh God, being in the right community, uh, just being true. Oh, yeah. So that is another thing I'm thinking that we'll talk about here today. We'll see which direction we go. And then the third piece is something that feels like a much larger topic that needs its own day. But we'll see how it goes today. Is when you're melanin dominant. Hello. When you're melanin dominant, you have the keys. As one of the women said today, Black women have the keys. Black women have the keys. Okay. And when you are melanin dominant, female or male, okay, and you really choose to do the thing that God has called you to do, whatever you call ancestors, God, whatever the thing is, whoever you call and venerate and speak to and guides you, and you really do the ridiculous thing, the ridiculous vision, the ridiculous dream, you really step that way, how much you actually need community. And you actually need a community where you can fuck up a lot, where you don't have to worry about being abandoned, because that's a big one. Right? Are you afraid of being abandoned when you really start to lean on community? Afraid of being abandoned, rejected, not loved when people see who you really are? Because that's the other part of being seen. There's the being public facing part and being seen, right? Getting on camera, being on stages, locking up, all that. But then there's the being seen by the people who are supposed to be your community, which, by the way, is handcrafted, right? Where you're talking about selecting a community. So there was expression today of being so grateful and honored to be in the community, to be supported in this way. And so that's another thing I think we'll talk about here today is when you're melanin dominant, how rare it is for a melanin dominant person to do their real God work that isn't the socially acceptable work. Because we all are seeing different things in our timelines and in our worlds, but uh, I just see a perpetuation of what we've already seen. I don't see anybody doing any truly consciousness shifting, public facing, true wealth. And when I say wealth, I mean across the board: money, love, power, things that are truly affront to the status quo that and requires such emotional refinement and skill, and that work is like true humility, true humility, and getting yourself out of the way. So I see us talking about some of that here today. And YouTube is typically pretty quiet. I want you to chime in here today. So it's 6:34 p.m. here in California, and this is late for me. I don't typically go live this late, but I've been live today. It's a just a lot of energy. It's the timing. It just feels like good to be here today at this time, and I'm gonna be around here for a while. So, hey, what's up? All right. So before I start, does anybody, if you here, I imagine you probably be here quite a bit. Is there any questions, anything in particular that you want me to pop off with? Considering what I just shared as the topics for the day, is there anything in particular you'd like for me to start with? Start to elaborate on, chime in on. Thank you for liking the live. Let me come over here and say hi to the folks I can see on over here. Hey, Lady B. Hey, Lexi. I don't want to care what people think. Um, Selenia is back. Hello, darling. At some point, I'm going to plug up my phone. I'm going to have to move around. I'm in a different room. You all can tell. There's several offices here where I rent space. And so they let me stay past 5 because they actually close at 5. So let me plug up my phone. Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Okay. We're going to have to move this quite a bit. All right. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting it. We're going to see how this is going to work. I think I need to. I didn't anticipate the phone part. Oh. Is it really? Oh no, this table is heavy. This table is heavy, honey. So basically there's quite a bit of distance between. Oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe this will be better. Is it? I'm just trying to make it easier for me to interact with everybody. No, it's easier. It's better over here. So let me come say hi. Whew. Wow. It's a lot of head tilting for me. I've never gone live in this room before, so it's an adjustment. So I'd like to start with this overcoming the fear of being seen. And one of the things that was mentioned today was, so first of all, there's a beautiful woman. I'm going to use her as an example. Are you here, darling? I'm not going to say your name to maintain your anonymity, but she's deeply into metaphysics, a melanin dominant woman, powerful, just like, oh my God. But all of them are, all of us, just all in my community, I'm talking about. And oh my God. So, what I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling washed over. Such a washing over of several things. Gratitude, also, it's possible. It can happen. It's happening. What is happening. We can unleash. We do unleash. We will unleash. I share this with those of you who have something you are called to do, and maybe it feels hard, it feels overwhelming, and it's just wow. And I don't know who here of you who has been here a while, who's new, but I've been helping women change their lives for 12 years. I'm not new to this. Maybe you're new to me, but I'm not new to this. And I've gone through so many difficult things. I've had my heart broken in this. Um, we people do not cool shit, mean shit on the path to power. This is why I say purification is dirty work. People talk about purity like it's just, they talk about it in this flowery way, but when you are full of negative thoughts and doubt and old trauma that's been unresolved and shit from your own unconscious mind, just being alive here on planet Earth and all of that. First of all, when you're melanin dominant, practically no white person is going to want to work with you. No white coach, right? They won't have the capacity. First of all, never mind wanting to. They won't have they when you start dealing with the real depth and power of a melanin dominant person, you have to be of sameness or likeness to do that. So first of all, if you have a tendency to go to non-melanin people, they're not going to be able to deal with you in your vastness. So that's one. The other part is you need a community that is spacious. You need a community where there's somebody like me who, a lot of people, I'm cold. To a lot of people, I'm cold. I'm cold to a lot of people because of the most people are used to reactive people whose emotion they don't know how to deal in the vastness of a being. And when all of you start truly dealing in emotional refinement and allowing everything about you that's undesirable, that's wicked, that's evil, that's unlovable, that's mean, that's petty, that's childish, that's all the things. Hey, and you keep going and you don't stop, because most of us stop on the path because it gets overwhelming, because we're scared, because we're alone, because right. When you are in a community like mine where you could fuck up, and as long as you own your fuck up, right? Because we not just like willy-nilly what the fuck ever. You own your fuck up because you're going to fuck up. It what you think you gonna be this powerful woman you see in your dreams just easily? Yeah, just the powerful woman who you know you are to become. First of all, you're not going to do that in a vacuum. You're not going to do that by yourself. You're going to do it in the community. But the community needs to be spacious and skilled, and it needs to care in order for you to evolve in it. Okay? And so when you start to really move through and clear out, as one of my community members said, she used the word Lake Erie. She said to go from the level of hiding I was doing and afraid to talk about this topic to actually creating this video on Thursday. She said it was like a valley. She said it was like moving through a Lake Erie of doubt, is how she called it. Lake Erie, just like so much. But the community was totally in holding and expectation and encouraging and pouring in her and supporting her and doing that. And when she showed up today, the level of aliveness in her voice, even her content, it's like you're beaming, you're coming. But before that, she went through a Lake Erie of doubt to allow herself to be seen in this content. And so this also connects with the third topic that I said I thought I wanted to talk about is mm, we lack the skill. We do you recognize you need somebody to care about you, to actually be with you as you're moving through these difficult things? You need somebody to actually care. Y'all know this. You need somebody who cares. So let's talk about this from Black people, like as Black people. So, what do y'all see or feel? What's the general sense that you get about the state of Black people? What is it? Are we connected? Do we care and love each other? Care for and love each other? Do we look out for each other? Do we allow each other to grow with each other? Do we allow each other to make mistakes? Now, this is collective, right? Like, obviously, right? There's communities, but is that your experience? Is that your current reality? That you're in a community, a family, a space where you get to make mistakes, you get to explore your dark self, you get a chance to everything that's repressed in you that you pushed down to fit in a long time ago. Are you in an environment where you can bring that up and look at it from different angles and look at what's true, what's untrue, integrate what is true, go after ridiculous dreams, call name things that you want, take on whatever you decide. I'm a teacher now of authority, I'm this, I'm that. Are you in a community where you can do all that with people and they still love you, root for you, encourage you, pour into you? I see no. Somebody said on the surface it's love and the depths is just a mess. Okay. And you're talking about Black people as a collective, right? There's sort of like this, we sort of shower each other on the internet, right? Like, right? I want you to clarify what that means to you, because when I read that, this is one angle that I see it, okay? And it's like we might big each other up in the comments, right? We might, something that doesn't take too much from us, that doesn't require too much. We might show a sentiment of love, but down in the deep of what it would take to be really linked up in a deep way and to be available with people through the realness of developing, of becoming whole, we don't hang around for that. We lack the skill of doing that. Many of us don't. Like, I had a woman tell me straight up, I don't care enough to do what you do, Naima. I don't even care enough. You have to care to do this. And the whole trend right now of the way to be powerful is to not care. And I know, like, I watched a melanin dominant man clarify, because I know not everybody means literally not care, but a lot of people are taking it as a literally not caring. But in this context that I'm talking about and that he was talking about, it's not a like, I don't give a kind of, I don't care. It's more of a, I do what I am to do at a heart and soul level at the best and the way that I know it. And I keep my hands off of everything else that happens in the process. Yeah, a detachment. Yeah. Okay. So is that what you meant? Who was that? Salon mindset coach? Is it Salon? Salon? Is that what you meant? On the surface, oh, yeah, I see it now. Thank you for that. Yes, as a collective example, we love each other at a cookout, but if you stay too long, it's drama. That part. We love each other at a cookout, is what she said, but if we stay too long, it's drama. So this drama, thank you for taking it there. Hold on. How do you overcome the fear of being seen? First of all, You need to be in a community with people who are doing this work that I'm talking about, caring and loving and working at this level. I'm inviting you into my womanhood initiations. Okay. What are my womanhood initiations? They are an opportunity for you to be seen. So practice being seen, be reflected back to, okay? Start to bring forward your fears to clear them out. And it's your gateway into my woman community. So my woman community is the community that you've been hearing me talk about here today, okay? My woman community is $99 a month. The womanhood initiations are free. Now, obviously, if you know you're not ready to come into community, you're not ready to invest in yourself, whatever is the reason, whatever is the reason. Obviously, you're not going to come to the initiation because the whole point of the initiation is to have the experience of being in community to then come into the woman community. Okay, so it's where we get to know each other. There's other women there, etc. So if you are at this point of I've done a lot of transformation healing work alone. You know, I've walked the solo path and it's time for community now. You just know. And when it's time, you know. It's very organic and natural. And you know it's time. I invite you to get on the wait list for my womanhood initiations. You do that by going to the link in my bio, click the link, and you'll see an option for womanhood initiations. Okay? So that's if you're ready for community. As far as particularly around this topic of overcoming fear of being seen. And think about why you want to be seen. Tap into why. Why now? You want to be seen now or next year? Why? Why do you want to be seen? Why? Are you potentially unconsciously just seeking validation? You don't really want to be seen in a way to serve. You really just want people to praise you so you can feel validated. This is a question. I'm not saying it's true or not. It's a question. Why? Why do you want to be seen? What do you expect to get out of being seen? What do you expect to get out of it? What do you expect to happen being seen? Anybody want to answer that? Where because I'd love to answer any pointed questions around this. And if there aren't any, I'd like to go on the direction of the joy. Wow, the joy, the connection. Wow. Mm, the wonderfulness. So the bright side of being melanin dominant. Oh my God. The bright side of being melanin dominant, called by God, or however you want to language that. Melanin dominant, called by God, having an impossible dream on your heart and soul, having an impossible dream on your heart and soul, please do not talk if you don't have a profile photo. This is social media and you don't have a profile photo. What if I came to your house with a bag on my head? What if anybody came to your house with a bag on their head? An impossible dream. Melanin dominant. You got an impossible dream that won't quit. An impossible dream that won't quit. You're in isolation, scared to be seen, full of doubt, resistance, but you know you need to do it. You're not even need, you're called. Like you just can't even be in any kind of real peace because it calls you. Anybody here dealing with that? And the bright side of saying yes to it versus hanging out in resistance and ah, like one woman, shout out to her. Oh my God, I love you all so much. I love you all so much. I love you all so much. It's just the reality, man. This is the reality. This is the reality. Where who does this? Because this shit shows up in so many different ways. Everybody has their own flavor of how they hide and stay out of power. And melanin dominant folk do not, well, mine, but outside of mine, um, spiritual power, like really navigating the unseen, really navigating this power that Black women know they have, but they don't have experience with interacting with it and then bringing it out and then interacting with other people who are responding to it and staying with it versus hiding or like all that. And then learning how to deal with men. And then this is part of why men don't even know women because men only get to know women by women being women. Like y'all can't be mad at men when men don't even know y'all. Y'all keep bending yourselves so that you are appealing to men, but men don't, their desires are programmed. Their desires are programmed. It's, it's a whole other, so it's like, I told the ladies today, I said, we ain't even touched the surface of where we're going. Like all of this is y'all like this and y'all think this is so incredible and you're so grateful and it's helping you so much. But the reason why I created this cheap ass community, and the reason why I said cheap is because it costs multiple five figures, six figures to work with me privately. Motherfuckers was like, Naima, why are you giving these women access to you for $99 a month? Okay. First of all, they don't know I have a mission, I have a movement, I got shit to do, you know. Not only that, a couple things. God is just so much. Ah! The motherfuckers who need the most be having the least. Who be needing my, and y'all so behind. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. When I say behind, it's like today, other people have been talking about for decades. You know? And but we got it. It's just that we're not, when we start really unleashing, we're not welcome in communities that are not with us in it. When we start unleashing the power that only we have, we're not welcome in these other communities. I know it. I've been in the industry for 12 years. So that's part of it. Then there's so much about us that's foreign to us and that has been demonized by white people, by religion, by the dominant consciousness, the dominant humanity, that whenever, if ever, we get a peek or a glimpse of something about us that is unfamiliar, that's already been demonized by our grandmother when we don't even touch it. So basically, it's like these vast wells of power just sit in us, pushed down, and everything that we act out on top is the acceptable blackness. You can eat like this, you can live like this, you can talk like this, you can have slang like this, you can do like this, you can do it like this. But that deep power that would basically break the grid on planet Earth, literally, so that the stream of consciousness that is vast could come in, like this kind of shit right here. That's the devil's work, girl. Meanwhile, everybody who non-dominant doing that shit in every which way that they can, based on the capacity and power that they have as non-melanin dominant people. But when you do it, you the devil. When you do it, it's spooky. When you do it, ma'am, senora, senorita, can you close the door? Close, chiuso, si, grazie, si, grazie. It's a cleaning lady. Pardon me. That was bad Spanish, huh? I think I just three different Spanishes right there. Actually, one was Italian. Hilarious. Talking about chiuso. Chiuso means close in Italian. What the fuck are you saying? So where do you go when you're melanin dominant? You got all this power that you don't have experience with. You got your grandma was calling you the devil when you were 5 because you had a power that Christianity said that is not of God. Meanwhile, when you are in that power, you manifest without even trying. You know things, right? So where do you go to unleash that, to get to know that, so you can do the thing that God, ancestors, whatever you call it, put on your heart and soul? Where do you go for that joy that's, oh my God. Where do you go for that ecstasy, for that connection with other people who are doing the same thing? I don't know anywhere else in the world you could. Pussy power, like your sensualism. Oh, sex? What? The bright side, the point I'm making here, the connection, the bright side, where you have a place to simply be true, who you and be who you are. And then also this right here. You ever be talking to somebody, maybe even a stranger, right? You ever be talking to somebody, or yeah, you're in a group or room with people, and memories you forgot from a long time ago start to come up. Things you have never talked about, whether you didn't feel safe to talk about it, or it just never even came to mind. With this particular person or these particular people, it starts to come up. I'm from San Francisco. Or here's another way. I used to work at a fashion agency in San Francisco, and I worked directly with the owner. It was a man, and he had his office, a big office, and he had a desk set up inside his office where I sat. So it's his office, big office, and an office in there where I sat, and I worked very closely with him. And he and I used to have very personal conversations. And he had a girlfriend who he was crazy about. And somehow we got on the conversation of sex. I've always been somebody who I be asking personal questions, honey. Okay. And I remember asking him something sexual about with his woman, because he clearly was crazy about this woman. And I remember him saying to me, I've never been into oral sex with any woman I've been with. I've never been into oral sex with any woman I've been with, but with her, I just want to do it. I'm right. And with her, but never with any other woman. And this is an experienced man. This man is sexually experienced, right? That's another example of you never feel like you can be yourself. And I'm not saying he wasn't being himself. I'm just saying how people can open you up to aspects of yourself that you either didn't know were there or you were afraid to explore. And then it reminds me of this woman was talking about how she always felt like she was terrible at yoga, and she always struggled in yoga. And she said one time she decided to go to a level 3 or like a master's level yoga class. And she said it just seems like something spiritually just came and lifted her legs and she did a handstand. She said her mind was blown. She said, I never did it again. But being in that room with all these level 3 people, suddenly I was able to do a handstand. And this is also speaks to why, like we can't have these black people gathering. Iris talked about how they started, I think it was in the 70s in New York. They started citing black people who gathered. This is why we weren't allowed to gather during chattel slavery, no groups, no like worshiping privately or in groups, because when we really, especially when you're in the right kind of community, because it's okay to gather if y'all killing and shucking and jiving and pulling people, and gambling and shooting, but if you start gathering, that could be for whoever that was here, the mindset coach you said earlier about at a cookout, it's all love. But if we stay around for too long, the drama starts. Because when we start settling in with each other, okay, when we start settling in with each other and we really start having things bubble up, especially if liquor is involved, where then now we're starting to get into some truth of some things, right? What happens is we lack the skill of dealing in the depth of each other. Not only that, we don't care, a lot of us. We feel like we won't be loved. We have a lot of upsets and resentments, whether they're collective, whether it's personal. We have a lot of us have so much internalized rejection of ourselves. This is why as I'm sitting here, I'm just so loving my community, appreciating, calling on the fortitude, the strength, the resources, the connection to be able to have it be stronger, better, more impactful for all the women that it will support. Because I don't know anywhere else in the world where a melanin dominant person who has always been black sheep, who was a bright light, who is just all those things that are nameless, wordless, can really get to know her depths and be witnessed. One of the women said today, being here gives me, it's only being in community where I can get the confirmation with women who are of my likeness. It doesn't happen in isolation. It doesn't happen with other people. Wow. If you're ready for this, I'm inviting you into my womanhood initiations. I'm inviting you into my womanhood initiations. You can get on the wait list because we're going to be resuming them again. You go to the link in my bio. There are like 4 or 5 options. You want to click womanhood initiation and put yourself on the wait list so you're notified for the next womanhood initiation. Again, the woman community is $99 a month. If you know you're not ready to invest in community, it's not for you right now. I feel like I want to take off my clothes. Uh, and live stream lounging. uh, yes, Nama. You love it where, Gray? Uh, in isolation, you may tend to doubt yourself more. Yep, that's very common. You doubt yourself very much in isolation. Mm. So, the middle topic. Excuse me. Mm. Are there any questions? Oh. Mm. Mm. Nothing particular. We're on Mighty Networks. You should come to the woman initiation if you'd like to know more. Everything happens there. If you're prepared to invest if you're prepared for this, what I'm talking about, this kind of community, and you're prepared to invest $99 a month, you should come to the Womanhood initiation. It's not my topic. Good for you, Michelle. Good for you, darling. Good for you. You could just walk away, darling. Walk away. These people. Ah. Ugh. Something that mm, I talked about the skill. I talked a little bit about this during our private time today too, was part of what's happening to walk around as a full powered woman and to have people reacting to you all the time. Oh God. Yes. My goodness. Mm. The skill of being out who you are and interacting with people without either running and hiding or being reactive because you can feel that they're judging you or they don't like you or they're making things unnecessarily difficult in the moment. And that being part of the reason why we hide and stay in patterns. Uh, I'm gonna hold off for a minute. Mm. Michelle, why are you here, sweetheart? You just want my attention? Wouldn't it simplify your life to just leave? You can go mind your business. What you're talking about here is you. It's in you. It's happening with you. You're such a scared thing. Like, go live your life, sweetheart. You have so much, skill, talent, ability, and you're spending too much time in fear. But here's the attention you wanted. Here's your lesson for the day. Go forth, child. What is this? So I like to avoid blocking people because I just like to give people a lot of space. Humans have a lot of growing up to do. So I avoid blocking, to give you listen. Everybody has a place. Maybe you'll help us create some content here with your words, but your words are they're empty. Exactly. So why are you saying those things here? You don't really even believe that perfect love drives out all fear because you are here spewing so much of it. I'm allowing you to talk. But I I happen to be willing right now. I happen to be willing right now. One of the things that I talked about today when we were private, and even earlier today, I was here about most humans don't have a community where they can fuck up and still be allowed, especially when you're black, melanin dominant, and you're navigating your ego self, right? Your shadow self. There's nowhere for you to go to work through that. Most of us don't have anywhere to go to work through that, and yet none of us are going to come into the power. We're not going to shine. We're not going to make the money. We're not going until we are witnessed and we have people around us, even if it's one person who cares, who's skilled, where we can traverse all these parts of ourselves that we've never met before. It's just, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but you look around and we can see, okay, that most black women pretty much look the same, sound the same, full of shame, ego, y- you know, masks all over the place. I'm God, Michelle. I'm Jesus. Y'all wouldn't even believe Jesus if Jesus, the way y'all think Jesus is, came to your door today. Y'all would hang him. Okay, y'all don't want to deal with Jesus. Y'all don't want Jesus. Y'all love talking that shit about some man. Y'all don't want Jesus. Jesus was dealing with hoes, street people. That's who his disciples became. That go do your That's who Jesus's people is. Okay. Jesus was dealing with straight up hoes. They would call him a witch. Mary Magdalene was a hoe. Okay. His disciples, the people he was dealing with, was street people. They was in the streets. Y'all would hang Jesus if he showed up today. Talking about Jesus as my Lord and Savior. You don't even believe half the shit coming out your mouth. You lucky you get a chance to even be alive today. Because if anybody is the demonic force, you are spewing all that shit you don't even believe. It's not true. This is the truth about I let you stay, and then whoever that is, I'm Jesus. How about that? I'll kick over your table. I'm Lord. I'm Jesus. I'm God. I'm Lord. Okay? Talking about, because my voice, my volume went up, I'm triggered. Then if that's the case, I'm always triggered, bitch. I be in the house hollering and nobody be there. Shit. Shit, I speak. I like to command with my voice. And I like getting loud and I like cussing because it feel good. You see what I'm saying? Shit. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the demon. Let's have fun with Michelle. She ain't got shit else to do. Oh my, you go live, Michelle. Let us see your face. You ain't going to. So anyway, everybody here has capacity for demon. Everybody here has capacity for evil, wickedness, treachery, all the shits. Wherever you are lacking in wholeness, you have the capacity for that. Everybody here, for the record. And that's through modern day talk. In Greek, demon is spiritual power. Okay. Demon is actually was daemon, and the modern version is demon. If you look up daemon, and they spell it a couple ways, Daimon or Daemon in Greek, it was not the negative connotation that white Jesus gave Michelle. When Michelle is talking, she's talking about the white man's Jesus that they gave her, if that's even a black woman with that black picture, because you know how they do today. It'd be a black woman in the picture and it'd be a white man running the account. Okay. But the demon that Michelle, that person who's masquerading as Michelle is talking about, is the demon that the white man gave to have people be scared of power. Okay. And to look at themselves and who they are and their wholeness as a demon. Okay. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You are God in one universe, air. Michelle, you notice how I'm allowing you to stay here? You notice how I'm allowing you to stay here? Notice that. I want everybody here to get you. Well, listen, you're going to do what you like, but the women in my community, I'll say that. For the ones who stick around, because there will be some that leave. Not everybody wants the big game, not everybody will endure. The things that we do, the way we avoid being confronted, the way we avoid being judged, the way we just avoid anything that's going to feel uncomfortable or painful or like people see us, etc., etc., etc. It's so important that we get skilled at dealing with people like Michelle. Even if Michelle is a bot, right? I'm just using her as her energy as an example, or his energy, whoever the bot is. I'm just using them as an example. So just imagine a Michelle in real life. Imagine being at Target. Imagine being at work. Imagine being anywhere with somebody who's coming at you with what Michelle is bringing here. Okay, you're welcome, Yazid. Okay, and they are being like a gnat, like a roach, like a fly, like an annoyance, like a disturbance, in any way that that could show up. Okay. Your non-tolerance should be studied. Why you say that, Selenea? Because as you start to be a woman who's walking around earth, true, pure, and your sexual power, and really letting your light shine, and not making yourself small because people are going to have a problem with it. Not, all that, you know. I was afraid of God until I realized I am one. Amen. All that. And you really start walking around, there are going to be people who are going to come around and deliberately, you know, who knows what they'll do, right? Bother you, want to make things unnecessarily difficult, all that you learn how to deal with them too. That you learn how to deal with them too. Nobody's triggered, Michelle. And even if we were, we get better. We get nobody here is triggered, Michelle. But even if I was, even if anybody here was, a trigger is good. It lets us know what bothers us. Then we can go interrogate. Why am I bothered by this? Nobody's scared of a trigger. A trigger is not a bad thing. Maybe to you it is. But I'm the one who's on camera. You're not. Go on to TikTok live with Jesus's word. And remember, I'm allowing you to stay here. Because I want people to see like how to deal with whatever you would call her behavior, her energy. It's annoying. Right? There's a tone of it that's annoying. It's like a gnat, like, right? It's people like her all over the world. They would hang Jesus Christ if Jesus Christ came back today. They would hang him. If they saw Jesus Christ out in the streets doing his work, girl, please. So just these are skills. These are skills that you develop inside my community, and s- part of it is direct skill development. Part of it is dealing in the work of dealing with you. Like a woman today was like, since I've been doing this work in the community, there's a softening in my heart. So I'm communicating with people differently. You know what I mean? So there's the dealing with yourself that is a skill. It's like an automatic skill development, and then there's the actual skill of dealing with difficult emotions while dealing with other people. You see, is that true, Michelle? I'm not heavily triggered. You're annoying. There's a difference. Triggered is an unconscious response, which is fine too. There's nothing wrong with trigger. Triggers are unconscious. I very much intentionally yelled. You're annoying. I'm close to blocking you because you're not even. um, I think I've gotten enough content out of you. Oh, hi, Dee Dee. You feel rejected. That's why you're here. That's why you keep talking. Yeah, I am. Anyway, no, she wants it. She wants exactly what she's getting right now. That's why she's here. She's talking so much. You know. Does anybody have any questions about this topic? 99. Binge what? Oh, food? How do you stop shrinking when being seen? It's an automatic reaction for me. So you could practice. You could start practice, and this is for everybody. Even though Salon, correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. Salon, is that Sandra? Sandra, hi. Almost missed your comment. It's almost gone up there. Uh, Salon, if I'm saying your name wrong, okay. You can start practicing right now being seen. Do you have over 1,000 TikTok followers? You can start going live. You could start creating content. You could practice being seen in a controlled environment. So, people who you currently have relationships with, mom, spouse, boyfriend, friends, etc., and practice letting some of yourself out. And you can even do this with them cooperating with you. So, like, your mom, your people who are in your life right now, tell them you're practicing being seen and that your automatic response is to shrink and you want to practice no longer shrinking. And so you do it with your mom and you expose a part of yourself that you've never exposed before. Or you say, Mom, hey, look, I'd like for us to talk for the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I'm going to be more of myself in this so I can practice feeling being more of myself in the presence of other people. That's one way. It's so many ways. Does any of that sound like something that could be useful to you and that you'll practice? There's so many ways. If you have over 1,000 TikTok followers, go live. Even if you don't have over 1,000, you can start creating content, talking about things that are interesting to you, exciting to you. That's another way. But there you go. You want to ask a deeper question because you're already doing the work to be seen. And then you notice you shrink. Okay, so you notice that you shrink and then start questioning why you're shrinking. Oh, I noticed I shrunk right there. Why? Why did I shrink? Journal. And it's okay. So I notice I shrink when a man looks at me for too long. I notice I shrink when, right? And then so you rehearse being seen in that condition again. Okay, what's true here? Well, it's not a threat. I'm not, right? And those are elementary stages because eventually, depending on what your intent is and where you're going, you want to get really good with hostile energy coming from other people. It's really important to get good with hostile energy without internalizing it, without, you know, having it overpower you and making you shrink and play small. Any other questions? I'm letting you stay, Michelle. I'm letting you stay. Hi, Constance. Sandra, she has been here just talking and talking and talking and talking. And I like to not block people unless they start getting like ugly, So typically, it's men who come in here and get ugly. But, you know, I use some of her words to create content to get the energy going up in here. So that's what I like to do when I have trolls come in. My energy is projected powerfully in person, yet this internet feels artificial. You can do it however you want, Roche. Is it Roche or Rochette? You can do it however you want. How do you care about people without letting them matter too much? You want to give me an example? You're welcome, Simone. I'm glad. I'm getting an appetite to eat. So I'm gonna be wrapping up here. If I have something to eat, I might eat on live and stay longer. Because I actually do feel like I want to stay and go into deeper into a particular topic, but I gotta eat. We are the real Jesus Christ over here. Your Jesus Christ is the white Jesus Christ that's fake. We're the real Jesus. You're doing the white man's work, Michelle. That's what you're doing. And Michelle is probably Matthew. We have a woman here on. Oh, it could be a white man behind the black face. You never know. Uh, she's just hanging out. I've decided not to block her in case you're wondering what's going on here. Yeah, we're all a spirit in human form. This is, what you say? What you say? I did. This is funny. Like I read about these people, but this is real. Like when they be on other people's wall, I'd be like, get out here. You know how to get out of your own way. You're welcome, Yazid. Simone, if you're, this is one thing I always say. When a woman really wants a breakthrough, she has a breakthrough. So if you really want to get out of really want to get out of your own way, you will get out of your own way. What is it exactly that you're trying to get out of your way about? And have you tried other means to get out of your own way? And try is not, so forgive me for the whole try. What have you already done to get out of your own way? Because what could be true, if we look at your results, if you keep repeating it, it's because that's what you actually like. It's just a shallow desire. And I like to say that repeatedly because a lot of women I find in my work that I've done with women, a lot of women, they don't, it's almost like a game to them to try to act like they want to change. It's like part of the thrill for them, but not, they don't really want to change. But acting like they're trying but not getting it is part of the shadows play. Does that make sense? So that's why I asked you that because if you actually like where you are, but at a shadow level, you're not really going to do anything. Okay, good. I'm glad. You felt some truth in that prospect place. Uh-oh. You saw yourself. It's the part of you that wants actual power, Michelle. This way that you're engaging right now is the way that you think is going to get you some kind of clout or superiority or significance. It, and it's like you saw this over here and you thought you could come push that over here. What is free will, Michelle? What is free will? Any other questions, anybody? Did you see yourself in what I said? Prospect places. That why you say, "Uh oh." I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I haven't thought much about it yet. It's actually past my eating time. I typically don't eat past 6 o'clock, but here I am. It's 7:39. Nothing too heavy though, because it's already so late. How have you dealt with self-limiting beliefs? Does that play into the shadow self too? Yeah, they're hidden limiting beliefs though. Remember, the shadow is what you can't see. So you don't know this is not you don't know that you're doing this. You don't see it until you see it. Judgment Day? When is Judgment Day? Danielle, I wish Danielle was here. I wish Danielle was here. Danielle was raised hardcore Christian, baby. She has read the Bible cover to cover multiple times. And I would love for her to come in here and handle the fuck out of a shell. You sound like such a lost child. Such a lost child. Which is why it's so easy to let you stay here. That's why it's so easy to let you stay here. Clearly a lost child. Just a talking. Just a talking, that sweet thing. Oh, dear ma, oh, dear fucker. Because we need to go read the do the rather me and the girl Danielle would tear you up in here. And we would be cackling. Danielle, where are you? Danielle Lavago. Raised good old deep South Christian too. Girl, she know that Bible, baby. She the one that's gonna come tell you, baby, Jesus is hanging out with the whores and the street people, baby. Okay, listen. Uh, Go look her up, Danielle Lavargo. Matter of fact, can I even invite Danielle in here? Let me see. Oh, I would love that. Let me see if I can find Danielle. Can I? I think I can only invite her if she because I like Danielle's. Never mind Michelle. I mean, like that could be fun for her to. But it's more so her knowledge and awareness. Oh, let me see. I've never done this before. Let's see if I can find her. Oh, can I? It doesn't. Wait, no, I see her name right here, but it doesn't. Maybe she was on, but yeah, it's not. Oh, she's offline. It says she's offline right now. Oh, Danielle. Oh, that would be so much fun. Where in the Bible does it say? I don't know. Michelle, you need to go. Anyway, any questions? You just talking too much. You can stay. You just talking too much. All right. So final call for questions. If I had dinner here, I'd stay, but I think I must have missed it, Simone. Go ahead and ask it one more time since I'm on my way out. I don't know, Constance. Hi, darling. I recognize your profile photo, the black and white. No, I don't have a particular tea that I like. I mean, I'm open to tea. I don't have a particular one that I like. Hi, pretty face. Simone, you want to ask your question again? Okay. Yeah, when you're ready, when you're really ready, it'll happen. That whole being at the door. When you're really ready, you'll move. This stuff is very much, where the invisible world is affecting the visible world. So it's not something you can be talked over into. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you heard the expression when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I've made you offers and invitations. You're seeing other things. When you're really ready, you're just gonna move. You don't have to be talked at like that necessarily. Keep living, pretty face. That's what I would say to a 23-year-old. Keep living. Keep on living. I don't believe you, Joy, but I said your name. You can go read about it with the link in my bio. And any woman who really wants to buy it, she buys it. YouTube, I'm logging off now. I don't see any questions. Constance, I'm not sure when I'll be back. But I imagine I'll be back. Well, I'll be back soon. I just don't know when. But you should come over to TikTok too. Have a great night. Bye.